So, we will be discussing more on the design. Okay, so chapter 3 is more on the design. So, yan yung blueprint. As I mentioned dun sa previous video, ito yung mismong disenyo na if you fail to craft your chapter 3, then ang layout ng bahay natin is hindi magiging maganda. So, chapter 3 is the blueprint of your research or your study. So, it layouts the design, the participants, the tools, the process. So, lahat dito, nandito lahat yung mga gagamitin ninyo in terms of your research. Okay, so dito naman, I would like to emphasize the difference between design and the methodology. So, ang laging kasi lagi, most of the researches, pag sinabi nilang design, automatically, yan na yung methodology. Okay, para sa akin kasi, I would like to emphasize na when it comes to the parts of the chapter 3, ang unang-una nakalagay kasi doon, this chapter 3, research methodology. Tapos, may introductory statement na this chapter presents the different tools and processes, blah, blah, blah. So, and after that, ang susunod na research design. Yung iba namang study, research method used ang nakalagay dyan. Okay? So, if the parts of that particular chapter 3 ang nakalagay research design, so automatically you will be discussing not only the research design or not only the plan, you also discuss what specific research method are you going to use. Okay? Pero may mga different studies kasi or format ng research na ang direct na tinatanong nila doon is research method. So automatically, pag research method dyan, ang i-discuss mo is the method itself. Okay? So, tandaan natin na ang research design and research method ay interrelated pero magkaiba pa rin siya. Ang research design is the specific blueprints or structure of how the study will be carried out under the chosen methodology. For example, quantitative research design. So, this quantitative research design, may mga different research methods siya or strategies that you're going to use in order to execute or implement your particular plan or your particular design. For example, ng quantitative research design, meron siyang 4 types of design, which is the descriptive, the experimental, the correlational, cross-sectional, and may mga iba pa quasi, mga ganon. So, may 4 siya kung paano nila dinidiscuss. So, later on, i-discuss natin siya. Sa qualitative naman, qualitative is a design. So, 3 ang research design na commonly ginagamit ngayon in terms of research. The quantitative research design aided with the particular method. Qualitative research design aided with a particular research method then. And a mixed method, which is the integration of both quantitative and qualitative research design and followed by that particular research methodology or research strategy. Okay? So, sa research method na sinasabi natin dyan, it is the techniques or strategies in order for you to execute the particular design or plan. Okay? So, methodology, this is the approach. Ang design, it is what type of study will be it. Is it a qualitative, a quantitative, or a mixed method? So, dun pa lang, binabasa na kaagad nila yan. Lalo na pag defense, binabasa na nila. Very particular to lalo na pag publication. Very particular na dun pa lang sa part na yon, whether the title is research method or a research design, dapat makikita natin ano ng plano. Ang plano is for you to discuss kung alin dun sa 3. Quantitative, qualitative, mixed method, or quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method. Method naman is the execution or strategies na gagamitin ninyo. Okay? So, malinaw tayo dyan ha. Una, kailangan that particular first title case under your chapter 3, makita ko na dun sa paragraph, what particular design are you going to use and the specific methods na gagawin ninyo in order to execute the plan. Okay? So, dapat very particular kayo on what specific plan is that and its corresponding methods or strategies. Pag quantitative, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin thematic kasi ang thematic is qualitative. Okay? Doc, paano yun sa amin? Developmental research. If that's the developmental research, since we also do in our institution the developmental research, ang gagawin mo dyan is or gagamitin natin dyan is the design science research methodology. So, I'll be having a separate video discussion about the design science research methodology kasi may 7 process yon or 7 methods yon. The design is design science research methodology and discuss what specific steps or process are you going to adapt based on the 7 to 8 processes na under ng design science research methodology. Pero sabi mo, Doc, design science siya, pero methodology ang dulo. Yes, kasi that is the name of that particular design. Magkakaiba kasing design or plan yan. So, in our institution, we don't only use the quantitative, the qualitative, the mixed method, but we also use the design science research methodology. It's because we are not just only identifying the needs, or we are not only conducting a study to contribute to the body of knowledge, but also we are creating a solution based on what we had identified na needs of the study, and that particular solution is the development of a particular app, machine learning, etc. And only the design science research methodology is we believe appropriate to be used in that particular study kasi it is a combination of a research and a capstone. Kaya tawag natin is a research project. Okay? So, hindi lahat ng school are using the research project, but in our institution, we are using the research project. It's a combination of a research and a capstone. Okay? So, in our institution, we use the 4 types of design: quantitative, qualitative, mixed method, and the design science research methodology. Okay? So, when we understand first regarding the design science, I would like to emphasize the characteristics of the different types of research design. First is the quantitative. Objective siya kasi it is quantified by numbers. Quantitative, ang isang study, if your strategy or your methods na gagamitin ninyo is to distribute a questionnaire and get their evaluation, assessment, and perception through that particular instrument. Therefore, it is quantitative because quantitative also tests, analyze, hindi lang yung sinabi nila, but we are not analyzing their perceptions through verbal interview, but we are analyzing their perception through a self-made or researchers-made instrument and analyze the responses through numerical data kasi meron tayong tinatawag na Likert scale. And quantitative produces a measurable and generalizable result. So, most of this quantitative method is yung result niya is used to contribute to the body of knowledge. So, if you want to test, to measure, or to compare, that is a quantitative. Okay? Pero if you want to explore, to describe, or understand experiences, understand their feelings and their personal perception, that is qualitative. Because qualitative is subjective. Hindi natin tinitignan or wini-weigh ang kanilang mga responses based on quantitative, based on numerical data. So we are measuring their responses through their words, based on our observations, their narratives, and their answers to an open-ended responses. Okay? So, I think naman wala sa inyo ang qualitative, but at least you know the difference kasi si design science research methodology in terms of needs, pwede kayo mag-interview. Ibig sabihin sa design science, yung first kasi doon is problem evaluation or needs analysis. So, you can interview or you can distribute a questionnaire. So, either quantitative or a qualitative. Okay? And also, sa mixed method, dalawa din ang most common na ginagamit in terms of gathering responses. Explanatory sequential and exploratory sequential. Maraming types of mixed method, but most of our researches ginagamit nila is the sequential, which is exploratory and explanatory. Pag sinabi nating exploratory, that is unahin natin ang qualitative. Meaning to say, doon pa lang sa questionnaire, you don't have or there is no available questions online to measure your study. So if that's the case, the first thing that you need to do is to interview the students or other people or other experts on that particular field. For example, ang study ninyo is more on creating a questionnaire or a validation of a developed questionnaire para sa mga incoming pilot students. So, we don't have existing questionnaire online na pwedeng magamit locally in aviation schools. So, if that's the case, then mag-i-interview kayo. Pag nag-interview kayo, that is an exploratory. Why? Kasi uunahin nyo muna mag-interview. Then, after you conducted the interview, yung mga sinabi nila, gagawan nyo siya ng questionnaire. Doon na ilalapat sa particular questionnaire ninyo yung mga sinabi nila during the interview, and you will do the Likert scale. You will put the Likert scale. So, meaning to say, transposing those perceptions, narratives, words, and observations, and gathered responses through an open-ended responses. Pag nakuha nyo na yung lahat, then ita-transpose nyo siya into a questionnaire. So, ang tawag doon, exploratory. Nauna ang qualitative bago ang quantitative. That is applicable to an instrument. Doc, paano naman if we wanted to use that in our study? So, ang mangyayari doon, since exploratory siya, mag-i-interview pa rin kayo. Then, afterwards, yun nga, yung instrument na nagawa ninyo, isa-survey nyo sa kanila or the other group of respondents, then ipipresent nyo siya sa study ninyo as mauuna ang qualitative or the interview or the thematic coding before the table. Okay, so medyo chapter 4 na yon, i-discuss natin yon sa chapter 4, which is next semester yon. Sa ngayon pa lang, it's more on you deciding on what design are you going to use. Kung mixed method yan, dalawa nga, exploratory or explanatory. Si explanatory naman, you will be using the quantitative na una bago ang qualitative. Applicable naman ito in interpreting the table. So, pag explanatory ang ginagamit natin, you will be using the questionnaire first to gather answers from your respondents, and simultaneously, you will also be interviewing some participants para naman ma-validate yung result ng survey natin. So, yung dalawang yon, ginagamit yon para makita natin that these are the responses from the questionnaire. Halimbawa, ito yung part na medyo mataas talaga yung result. I-validate mo kung bakit mataas tong result na to by discussing also the result of your interview. So, yun yung explanatory sequential design. Okay? So, yun yung difference nung dalawa. Okay? Sa design science research methodology naman, you will both use the quantitative and qualitative. It depends on the needs of the study. Paano yun, Doc? Siyempre sa una, for the problem evaluation or for the needs analysis, you will be using either an interview or a questionnaire, which is either a qualitative or quantitative. Hindi mo pwedeng pagsabayin yan, isa lang. Kung mag-interview kayo, then the first part of your problem identification is qualitative, interview, thematic, coding. Pero pag ang ginamit nyo naman is an interview guide or questionnaire, then that is quantitative. Okay, so sa design, Doc, paano mangyayari doon? since design science siya, di-discuss nyo lang siya na design science research methodology aided with quantitative, descriptive, mga ganon. So, di-discuss natin later on kung ano yung mga parts o kung paano nyo ipipresent. But, ito muna sa ngayon is, I am discussing what is all about quantitative, what to be considered when we talk about qualitative, what to be considered when we talk about the two most commonly used mixed method, which is exploratory and explanatory sequential. May mga ano pa ka doon embedded, may mga concurrent. So, pero dito sa atin, ginagamit lang natin, most common is the explanatory sequential and exploratory sequential. And the third design is the design science research methodology. Okay, ano na to ha, kasi medyo mahirap talaga ang research. Okay, so, dito pala mag-isip na kayo. Tatandaan ninyo, when you decide to craft or draft your research design, ano ba yung study ninyo? Is it a basic research or applied research? Pag basic, questionnaire talaga yan. Or interview. So, magde-decide kayo kung quantitative or qualitative. Pero pag applied research, meaning magde-develop kayo ng particular app, so, automatically, ang design nyo doon, or research design nyo doon, is the design science research methodology and, or, ganon, aided with what particular method under quantitative and qualitative and mixed method. So, ang design nyo doon, pag magde-develop kayo again, is the design science research methodology. You will just get what particular or appropriate strategies or method under quantitative, qualitative, or mixed method ang isasama nyo doon sa design. Nakapag-decide ka na kung anong design, then now, dudugtugan mo siya kung what particular method will aid your study. Okay? So, later on, isa-isay natin yung mga different methods na yon or design under types of design under quantitative, qualitative, and the mixed method. Okay? So, dito naman, I'm showing you the aspects or the indicators on how you will decide whether it is a quantitative or a qualitative, a mixed method, or a mixed method. Ganun, okay? So, sa approach natin, deductive ang quantitative, inductive naman ang qualitative, kasi dito sa deductive approach or the quantitative, umpisan kasi natin dun sa majority. Ibig sabihin, ito yung number one problem papunta sa most least problem. Pag sa quantitative kasi, inductive siya. So, magbibuild tayo ng theory. Ibig sabihin, uumpisahan natin dun sa mga least papunta dun sa most common problem. So, sa data naman na needed ninyo in terms of quantitative or qualitative is quantitative through numbers, qualitative is through words. Ang goal mo dito sa quantitative is to measure and generalize the most common problem or the most common strategies or the most common satisfaction, etc. Kung ano man yung pinag-aaralan ninyo. While sa qualitative, ini-explore natin and understand kung bakit ito ang naging problema, kung bakit ito ang best practice, parang ganon. Sa sample size natin when it comes to quantitative, you will be involving a lot of sampling techniques para makuha natin kung ilan talaga yung appropriate number of respondents. Like for example, you're going to include all the AOM and COMFLI. So, ang gagawin mo doon, kukunin mo yung buong population. And from that population, you decide as a group kung paano nyo kukunin yung respondents of your study. Are you going to give maximum variation sampling? Ang ibig sabihin nun, may mga listahan kayo na, okay, ang respondents namin kailangan meron lang silang 48 hours na lipad pataas. Pag 45 pababa, exclude. Mga ganon. We are going to include only students na ng first year to fourth year na babae. Ganon. Pero pag babae, kailangan namin yung pang 9th. Parang ganon. So, magbibilang tayo. May mga ganong sampling kasi. So, that is for the quantitative. While si qualitative kasi, pag in-depth ang study ninyo, magmi-minimum ka ng 10. Pero pag hindi naman in-depth, kahit 2, 3, 4, 5 is enough to represent the whole group. Kasi, or the whole representation ng study niya. For example, you're talking about mental stress. Parang ganon. So, pwedeng 5, pwedeng 3, kasi ang inaalam niyo sa kanila is more on their experience. So, very subjective. We are getting their experience, their words, their inputs in terms of that particular problem. So, very minimal siya. When it comes to analysis naman, quantitative is statistical. Qualitative naman is thematic approach siya. Kaya, for the design science research methodology naman, if you're going to address the number 1 process ng design science research methodology, which is to identify the needs or analyze the needs, it's either qualitative or quantitative ang gagamitin nyo doon. Okay? Si mixed method naman, ginagamit siya most common doon sa basic research. Kung gusto nyo maganda yung output ng study ninyo, you may consider mixed method kasi you will be getting the responses of your respondents and your participants ng two-way, quantitative and qualitative. Tapos, i-validate ninyo yung result na nakuha nyo based doon sa nag-gather nyong data sa qualitative and quantitative parts. Okay? Sa output naman natin ng quantitative, tables lang tayo, hindi tayo nag-graph pagdating sa basic research. Pero sa design science research methodology, you are allowed to use the graph. Okay? For the qualitative research naman, themes and descriptions ang output natin. Ibig sabihin, walang table. So, parang team number 1, mayroon siyang sub-teams. I-discuss ninyo siya. Ilalagay nyo yung sinabi mismo ng respondents ninyo. Kung tumawa siya, talagang nandoon. You have to include all their expressions. Kasi yung mga nagbabasa, doon nila makikita, doon nila maiintindihan yung flow ng study nyo and the flow of the interview. So, qualitative, hindi dapat ako makakakita ng table. Pero your transcription, nakalagay siya sa appendices na naka-table. Wala nga lang graphic, wala siyang numerical data. It's more on words ang nandoon. Okay? So, bakit Doc ang dinidiscuss mo yung dalawa? Hindi mo nilalagay si mixed method and design science. It's because si mixed method and design science dito naka-relay. Okay? Kasi sa atin, hindi pag diniscuss ko kasi si mixed method in toto, ay mahihirapan na kayong maintindihan. All I need to discuss here is ano yung different design na pwede mong i-adapt when we use the mixed method. Kung ang mauuna ba quali or quanti. So, pag naiintindihan nyo itong methodology na to or the meaning of this, the approach and strategies on how to conduct a quantitative and qualitative research, sa pagpa-plan ninyo in terms of using the mixed method, particularly if you're a basic research, maiintindihan mo kung ano bang gusto nyo unahin, quali ba or quanti. So, kung ang gusto nyo unahin is quali bago quanti, that is exploratory mixed method, sequential research design, ganon. Pag quanti naman ang inunan ninyo, that is explanatory. Sa design science research methodology, may process yon, so i-discuss natin sa another video natin. Pero dun sa una pa lang, yung number 1 step, which is the problem identification, problem evaluation, or the needs analysis, magdi-decide ka dun kung quali ang gagamitin mo or quanti. So, kaya itong pinakita ko para hindi kayo masyadong malito when it comes to the decision making. Kasi if you are familiarized, you are familiar with quantitative and qualitative research, then ma-apply mo na siya for basic and developmental research. Okay? So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na different types naman ng quantitative research design. So, meron dyang 4. Descriptive. So, ang descriptive, dinidescribe niya what is the prevalent or what is the existing problem. Okay? So you are discussing the different characteristics, or you are describing what is the prevalent. Ibig sabihin, you are describing what is the problem na gusto mong malaman sa ngayon. So this is more on the characteristics, this is more on the frequencies, this is more on conditions. You are describing the group. Hindi mo sila kino-compare, ha. You are describing dyan. You are not comparing the groups. Okay? Si correlational naman, it identifies relationship between variables. Ang hirap talaga pag-aralan ng research. Okay? So, correlational, tinitingnan natin yung relationship between variables. Experimental naman is you are testing the cause and effect relationship by manipulating the variables. May mababasa pa kayo, guys, ha. Correlational, it tests the cause and effect relationship. Di ba experimental yun? Hindi. Kasi ang kaibahan ng dalawa, si experimental, you can manipulate the variables. Ibig sabihin, okay, titest ko to, 40% lang itong laman ng experimental ko. Ito 50%, ito 60% experimental. Yon. Si correlational kasi, you cannot manipulate the variables. But, you are testing the cause and effect relationship. Yun yung difference ng dalawa, ha? Si experimental, you will be testing the cause and effect relationship, but through manipulation of the variables. Parang, for example, makakapagpalipad pa ba ang isang piloto pag nakainom siya 6 hour bago lipad? Paano kaya kung 8 hours? Paano pag 10 hours? So, at least you are manipulating the variables by adding hours doon sa testing na ginagawa nyo, experimental. While si correlational, hindi. You are testing the cause and effect relationship of different variables. For example, for example is, gusto mong malaman yung relationship ng study habits niya sa kanyang academic performance. Gusto mong malaman yung kanyang family income, kung may kinalaman or relationship siya sa academic performance. Parang ganon. So, you cannot manipulate those variables kasi given yung mga variables na yun based on the characteristics of your respondents. Sa quasi-experimental naman, you are testing the cause and effect but without randomization. So, ibig sabihin, sa quasi-experimental, tinitest natin yung cause and effect but without full randomization. So, ibig sabihin, hindi natin nira-randomize yung kung sino yung magiging respondents mo doon. May specific kang ginagamit dyan sa quasi. Most of the time, dyan yung, alimbawa, gusto kong malaman yung English proficiency ng mga estudyante na ito. So, ito yung strategy ko. That particular strategy, I will be using that to section 1 and section 2. So, at least hindi mo siya nira-randomize kasi may specific ka ng section. So, pre-test and post-test ang mostly ginagamit dyan for the quasi. Okay? Itong diniscuss ko na to, this is the quantitative research. Itong descriptive, correlational, experimental, and quasi-experimental, yan yung research method or yan yung strategies na idudugtong mo doon sa design. Ang design dyan or the plan is the quantitative. Pero anong method? Yun. So, kayo ang magde-decide kung alin ang gagawin ninyo. Tingnan nyo yung title ninyo. Kung ang title ninyo is to simply identify the level of study habits ng estudyante, then that is descriptive. Pero kung ang title ninyo is you are comparing, particularly makikita mo na kaagad doon yung sa title mo yung relationship ng study habits sa flight performance, then that is correlational. Okay? Pero kung ang study mo is nag-develop ka ng isang app and you wanted to know kung effective ba yon sa two groups of respondents, then ang study mo is not a quantitative research, ha? Kasi sa atin kasi, nag-develop kayo. Talagang literal, you will be developing that particular app. Tapos, experimental mo. So, meaning, you will be adopting the descriptive, design science research methodology aided with experimental approach. Ganon. Kung experimental lang ang ginamit mo. Kaso maglalagay ka pa ng for the needs analysis, lalagyan mo ng qualitative. Di ang lalagay mo doon, kung qualitative, ang qualitative mo, gumamit ka ng documents ng school. For example, energy conservation ang app na gagamitin mo. So, mangyari doon, the study will adopt the design science research methodology aided with experimental strategies and case analysis. Bakit case analysis? Or document analysis. Document analysis kasi you will also be using the document of the school to analyze the problem. Okay? So, doon pa lang makikita na natin na na-address yung SOP ninyo and your title sa research design ninyo. Okay? So, yun yung dalawa, ha? Okay. Paano naman po, Doc, pag mixed method? Ayun, pag di-decide ka nga kung anong klaseng mixed method dyan, exploratory or explanatory. Kasi pag explanatory, automatically that is quantitative and qualitative. Pag exploratory, automatically it's a qualitative and quantitative. Okay? So, ganun siya mag-decide. My gosh, matatapos kaya natin to. Sige, sisend ko tong na to, ha. Kukunin ko lang yung parts na to. Sisend ko sa inyo tong copy. Okay, for the descriptive, yan, andyan yung purpose and method. Ganun din how to use. So, at least you can have the guide for you to answer the activities that I'm going to upload later on. So, this is the causal comparative of your experimental. Okay, wait lang, hindi ito umandar. Yan. How to use, correlational, andyan din how to use. Medyo mahaba-haba kasi pag discuss pa natin to. Okay? Wait. Yan. Then, wait lang. Nawala. So, ito yung summary of the design, the different kinds of design na pwede nyong gamitin when we talk about quantitative. So, descriptive, what triggers in the SOP. So, makikita mo doon. Pag may nakita kang status dyan, what is the status? So, what is the level of, so you're not comparing, basta walang comparison, then you can employ the descriptive research design. Ang typical formula natin or statistical tool for data analysis is the frequency, the mean. You can present using the bar or pie chart if your format for the research is allowing that format. Sa institution natin, we are not allowing by or pie chart or bar chart kung hindi siya design science research methodology. Kung basic research siya, mostly table talaga. Okay, so cross-sectional, snapshot siya. Ibig sabihin, one-time, big-time survey natin kung ano yung gusto nating malaman at a single point of in time. So, meaning, you wanted to know kung satisfied ba sila sa services ng school or ng kahit na anong department. Then, you will be conducting a survey. Minsanan siya. Tapos, you will be grouping them according sa locations nila or programs nila. Ganon. Okay? Sa causal or the exposed factor, makikita mo kaagad sa title yung may word na difference, yung may word na relationship. So, pwede mo siyang i-test kaagad. So, in that case, you will be using the different tests, one way, ANOVA, mga ganon. So, these are the most common para ma-identify mo naman kung anong specific methodology statement are you going to use or present in your manuscript and the typical statistical analysis. Okay. Next natin. Yan. Okay, so correlational, quasi, and experimental, as I explained kanina. Ito naman is the detailed on how to present the, or ano yung tawag doon, mga Q ninyo para makapag-decide kayo na ito yung specific na ano natin na design na pwede kong gamitin. Ito lang ha, sa correlational, baka dun sa SOP ninyo may nakita lang kayong relationship and association. Pero nasa ano siya, nasa comparative part siya. Ibig sabihin nasa SOP 4 or nasa SOP 4 or 5 or 6 or 3. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya ang primary SOP ninyo ha. So, ibig sabihin, dun sa research design ninyo, ang gagamitin ninyo, kung sa 1 and 2, in-identify nyo yung kanilang level of satisfaction, the behavioral factors, descriptive yon. Pagdating sa pagdating sa SOP 3 and 4, may nakita kayong, is there a significant relationship and association? So, automatically, correlational na ba siya? Hindi. Gagamitin mo lang yung word na correlational kung dun pa lang sa SOP 1 mo, correlation na kaagad yan or relationship na kaagad ang nandoon. So, correlational kaagad yung design mo. Pero kung part lang siya na nasa lower part pa siya, like for the comparison, when we talk about the PICOT model ng drafting your SOP, like profiling, interventions, tapos nandun siya sa comparative, hindi mo gagamitin ng correlation. But you can mention, malilito nga lang sila kung i-mention mo pa yan, descriptive and correlational. Pero you have to explain it, bakit mo gagamitin ang correlational. Pero if your SOP hindi siya talaga directly focusing on the relationship dun sa unang SOP po pa lang, so that is not a correlational. Okay, ganun din sa quasi and sa experimental. Okay, to sum it up, research design pa lang po ito ha. Okay, to sum it up, yeah. Descriptive, it deals with what is. So, what is the level of, pag sa tingin ninyo, yan, ganyan yung mga tinatanong ninyo, then, descriptive research design siya. Pero if you ask for the significant difference, as post facto siya or causal comparative. Okay, no manipulation, but you are comparing group that affects the information that you wanted to know. Correlation, is there significant relationship? Tandaan nyo ha, dito sa umpisa pa lang ng SOP ninyo at ito ang nakita ninyo, then you're going to use the comparative and the correlational. Ganon din tayo, quasi and true experimental. Si quasi, ito yung pre-test and post-test. Pag halimbawa mayroon kayong ginawang isang app or strategy tapos gusto nyo malaman if it is effective or not, quasi yun ha, hindi siya true experimental. Quasi experimental yun kasi you are testing that particular app to look at the effectiveness by not manipulating the variables. Si true experiment kasi it requires manipulation. So, for example, yung si Banauni, gumawa sila ng tawag doon, fabric conditioner, pero may certain level of, ito, dinagdagan nila ng 40% banana sap, ito 60, ito 80, tapos ginamit sa mga damit. So, it requires manipulation through the different levels of sap na nilagay. That is experimental. If di nyo ginawa yon, do not use that. And ang applicable lang for the app, itong quasi. Kasi you are getting the responses na tama at effective ang app ninyo through experimental ng effectiveness sa paggamit ng mga tao na na-identify nyo na kung section A siya and section B. But you are not manipulating the total number of respondents in section A and section B. Ganon. Okay? Then, the different types of qualitative research, the case study, the phenomenological, grounded, and the narrative. So, yung una natin is the case study. Pero dito kasi sa case study, ang pwede nyo gamitin is the file nila. For example nga, you have the initial file, you are just getting an additional information kung totoo ba yung file. or totoo yung mga nakasulat dun sa file na nakuha ninyo. Pero sa part ng study natin na document analysis, you may get the initial documents na meron sila. For example, gusto mong pag-aralan yung electrical consumption ng school. So, kukuha ka na information from the ops and engineering department kung ilan yung nako-consume nila. So, pag i-analyze mo yun, like in January, nag-consume sila ng ganito, nung March, nag-consume ng ganito. So, yun. It's more on the document analysis din siya. So, parang hindi kasi appropriate na gamitin yung case study kung hindi naman in-depth yung study na gagawin mo. Okay? So, this is how to use the case study. Pero yung explanation natin kanina is more appropriate na to use in your study. Okay? Next is the phenomenological approach. Dito naman kasi, mostly ginagamit ito talaga pag pure qualitative yung study ninyo. You are drawing some informations from the respondents ninyo through a phenomenological approach. Like, kinukuha mo talaga yung kanilang experiences, ino-observe mo sila. That is phenomenological. For example, then, yung type of phenomenological na ginagamit, for example, yung mga may schizo, di ba, hindi natin sila nalalapitan. You can observe and study their behavior. Yung mga sinasabi nila, kahit na indirectly hindi mo sila nakakausap. In our case naman, if you want to know yung mga mental, yung mga study na na-approve sa inyo, if may kinalaman siya sa mga mental or may kinalaman siya sa mga behavior, this is very suited to be used as the method. Okay? Ang design is quali, method mo is phenomenological approach. Okay? So, this is one of the example on how to use the phenomenological approach. Okay? Next natin is the ethnography. Ang ethnography natin, it came from the root word anthropology. Okay? So, ethnography, pupunta ka talaga doon. Gagawin mo yung particular particular na case na gusto mong malaman. For example, gusto mong malaman sa Tondo, kung bakit pag sinabi mong Tondo, maraming magnanakaw, parang ganon, dami na hold up. So, dalawa lang ang pwede mong gawin doon. You pose yourself as magnanakaw, ay ikaw yung tututok ng kutsilyo sa mga nanakawan mo, or play as the nanakawan. Ipapakita mo yung mga cellphone mo para may lalapit sa'yo magnanakaw. In that case, talagang you will experience, ito pala yung reason kung bakit. May mga ganon. So, yun yung sa ethnography. You need to immerse yourself para mas maintindihan mo yung problema. For example, then punta ka sa community. Bakit sa tingin mo sa community na to, they practice this, they practice that. So, ipapractice mo din yon. May mga study tayo na talagang umaabot ng 1 buwan or 2 months or even a year para ma-collect nila yung data na gusto nilang i-analyze through immersing in the community na pupuntahan nila. Okay? Ito namang last part is the grounded theory. Ito yung qualitative na you came from a particular idea lang. Then, that particular idea, lalagyan mo siya ng maraming or kukuhanan mo ng maraming insights. Pero yung insights, hindi mo interviewin yun manggagaling yun sa different books. So, ito yung paniniwala mo. At gusto mong patunayan na yung paniniwala mo talagang tama yun. So, you have to get a lot of studies, a lot of data, tapos, at the end kasi wala siyang ending si ground theory. That is part of the qualitative. Ginagawa ito ng mga experts like mga dissertation na, mga ganun. Okay, next. Narrative. Yan, next, narrative research. Dito sa narrative, yun, may chronological sequence of event, pinapakita mo yung experiences nila. So, isa-isahin mo from pagka-graduate niya hanggang sa kung ano na yung trabaho niya ngayon. Ganun yung narrative. Pero, hindi ko alam if it is applicable in your study. Kasi majority sa in-approve natin is basic research na quantitative and a developmental research. Okay? So, ito yung summary niya. So, these are the purpose of the qualitative research. So, if you believe that your study needs to include at least one qualitative, lalo na pag basic research ka at ginamitan mo ng mixed method, then you can just go back on this kung na-screenshot mo siya para makita mo kung ano ba talaga ang most appropriate methods na idadagdag mo dun sa design na napili mo. The design na napili mo is mixed method. That is a combination of a quali and quanti. It's up to you to decide whether mauuna ang quanti, pangalawa ang quali, or mauuna ang quali, pangalawa ang quanti. Pero hindi mo pwedeng sabihin lang na quali, quanti lang yan. You have to describe, you have to discuss what particular method under quali or what particular method under quanti ang gagamitin mo dun sa mixed method mo. Okay? So, sum it up. So, these are the different consideration when we talk about quali and quanti. So, tandaan natin, your design is your framework. Kayo ang makaka-describe anong klaseng framework ang mabubuo ninyo if the four designs of research are concerned. Quantitative research design, qualitative research design, mixed method research design, and the design science research methodology. Umiikot lang naman dyan whether you're going to use quanti-quali, quali-quanti, quanti lang, or quali. Yun nga lang, quanti-quali, quali-quali na ganyan, you have to consider the methodologies na ipinakita ko sa inyo. Hindi mo pwedeng banggitin lang dyan na quali-quanti. Okay, nakita ko na, quali-quanti. Anong klaseng method? Diba? A case study ba? An ethnography ba? Mga ganon. So, you have to discuss the specific methods or strategies. So, that's the difference between research design and research method. Okay? Okay. So, next. Okay. So, this is the second part of actually third part ng third part of the chapter 3. Kasi ang format na susunod yung sources of data. Dalawa lang naman yun. You have to discuss the primary and the secondary sources of data. Primary from your respondent, secondary from the books and articles. Ito naman population and local. For the population and local, automatically i-discuss ninyo yung population of your study. Tandaan ninyo ha, pag sinabi natin population, hindi ibig sabihin yan yung respondents ng study ninyo. Diyan manggagaling yung sample or the respondents of your study. From the population, you have to discuss, for example, you're going to include all the 4th year ConFly and AOM students. Population yon. Pero, pag nilagay mo na yung limitation na the respondents of the study will be the AOM and ConFly students who had at least 50 hours of flying, sample na yon. Okay? So, dapat part pa rin siya of discussing the population of your study. You have to indicate there what particular criteria ang hinahanap ninyo sa respondents of your study. Okay? Also, after nyan, first paragraph yun ha, discuss all the population and the sample of your study. Then, the second part naman, i-discuss ninyo yung local of your study. Local of the study, hindi local yan ha, with E. Local of the study is the place where you're going, wherein you're going to conduct the study. So, if ang respondents ninyo are from WCC-ATC, then the local of your study is from WCC-ATC. But, anong particular department? Huwag nyong, ang lagi nilang nilalagay, the local of the study is at WCC-ATC. Lahat ba, respondents nyo, manggagaling sa buong WCC-ATC? So, you have to set the boundaries. Kung ang local ninyo is WCC-ATC, specifically at, at the College of Aviation, mga ganon. Particularly the AOM students, mga ganon. So, you have to specify the specific respondents of your study. Local, pero hindi buong WCC-ATC or hindi buong barangay ang ilalagay nyo dyan. Kung sino lang yung specific. Bibigyan mo lang kami na idea na ang panggagalingan niya sa WCC-ATC, but you have to specify anong specific place doon. Okay? So, ganun lang kasimple dyan. So, just discuss for 2 paragraphs. First paragraph will be the population and sample of the study. Second paragraph is the local and the specific place doon sa local ninyo and put a map. Lagyan nyo ng map. Okay? So, ganun lang kadili pagdating dyan. Some of the researches are requiring anong specific sampling method are you going to use to identify the sample out of the population. So, dito pa lang dinidiscuss na sa population yung specific sampling method na nagagamitin ninyo. Okay? Sampling method. Okay? Ano ba yung mga different sampling method na ginagamit? Purposive sampling, stratified sampling. Okay? So, may separate, tayo doon ha, medyo mahabang computation kasi yon sa mga different sampling. You have to discuss lang dito kung anong klaseng sampling. Stratified, purposive, random sampling, snowball sampling, fishbone sampling, mga ganun. Ang daming different samplings which is we'll be discussing sa different videos yun. Okay? I-upload ko rin kung sana tonight. Okay, next natin is the research instrument. Okay, dito sa research instrument, ito yung pagbuo nyo ng questionnaire. Instrument is either a checklist questionnaire, a research-made checklist questionnaire, a research-made questionnaire, tag doon, checklist kasi, i-check mo siya. So, survey questionnaire, yun yung may space, tapos sila na magsusulat. An interview guide. So, dito dinidiscuss yung instrument na yon. Ang unang-una mo i-discuss dito sa research instrument mo is kung anong type. Ito yung meaning. Wait, lagyan natin ha. Maglagay tayo dito sa baba. Yan. Ang unang-unang dinidiscuss dito is anong type of instrument. Checklist, survey, or interview guide. Pangalawa is how many items ang ilalagay mo. Discuss the different items. Tapos, ilagay mo din dyan if modified. Pag sinabi mong modified, ibig sabihin may pinanggalingan siyang research. Tapos, yung research na yun, ang kinuha mo lang is itong items na to kasi ito lang yung appropriate. Okay? So, you have to discuss kung modified ba siya or self-made ba siya. Dito mo rin i-discuss if ang ginamit mo dito sa instrument mo is exploratory. Yung nag-interview ka ba bago ka nakabuo ng instrument. So, yun yung other way on how to create your questionnaire. Then, after that, more on discussion lang dito kung ano ang laman ng instrument mo. Okay? So, alam naman natin na majority are using AI to assess them in creating their research. Hindi naman natin dinidiscourage. Again, hindi natin dinidiscourage yan, pero pakibasa kasi mayroon pa rin tayong threshold when it comes to AI. We are not allowing you to present or defend your thesis kung hindi siya pumasok sa threshold. So, every institution has their own threshold sa mga AI detection. Dapat alam nyo na kaagad na ito yung pinaprompt nyo kay AI, pero nilagay niya sa how many items, nilagay niya na in SOP1, the researchers included 5 items. Dun sa SOP mo, meron kang 5 variables. So, dun palang may mali na. So, you have to check kung tama. Okay? So, ang tulong na nagawa niya is na draft niya yung initial ninyo, pero dapat sa finalization of the information na nilalagay nyo sa study nyo, nanggagaling sa inyo kasi may mga researches na pag pinablish nyo siya, nire-retract. Ibig sabihin, nasasayang yung binayad ninyo kasi binabalik or tinatanggal nila sa kanilang publication because na-detect nila na AI-aided siya. Okay? Again, we are not discouraging you to use the AI. Malaking tulong siya, but yung draft niya, you have to read it. You have to finalize it. Yun yung role ninyo as the researchers kasi doon kami titingin. Like, for example then, discuss the different items. Ano ba yung mga nilagay na items? For example, the researchers made use of the questionnaire of the study by Rosales 2026 wherein item number 78 to 90 was used in the study. Dapat makikita ko yun kasi nilagay mo yun, so hahanapin ko yun. Pagtingin ko dun sa papel ni Rosales, ang nakalagay sa 79 to 90, mali naman dun sa in-inform ni So, dapat i-double check nyo siya. Ang role nyo is to double check para maiwasan natin yung maling information na nilalagay sa study ninyo. Kasi kayo pa rin talaga dapat ang last touch. Do not allow AI na siya yung gumawa ng lahat-lahat without looking at the information na nag-gather niya kung tama ba or mali. Tandaan natin, we are not scheduling a defense if your AI detection result is above, is 20 and above. Dapat below 20 siya. That is the threshold natin. Particularly 15%. Okay? 15% na tayo, hindi siya 10% lang. Okay? So, tandaan natin na when it comes to instrument, kailangan complete and detailed and talagang nabasa nyo siya, hindi nyo lang hinahayaan ng mga AI natin. Just use AI as a guide to fast track all the parts na kailangan ninyo para yung conceptualization ng idea based on the prompt is okay, then kayo yung magpa-finalize. Kasi trabaho nyo yan. Study nyo yan. Okay? Okay, so these are the sample of pwede yung write-ups na ilagay ninyo sa quantitative and a qualitative research. But, still, you have to consider yung mga sinabi natin kanina on how to present your your research design. Okay, so that's it. I'll be posting another video about the different parts na kailangan talaga ng detailed explanation. Okay, bye.